If you're planning to retire in the UK, what I'm about to share with you today could completely change everything you thought you knew about your retirement timeline. The government has just introduced pension changes that are sending shockwaves through the entire retirement planning community. And if you don't understand these new rules, you could be leaving thousands of pounds on the table, or worse, retiring at completely the wrong time. Welcome to Pension Secure UK, your trusted guide to understanding and securing your UK pension and retirement future. Here, we break down complex pension systems into simple, practical tips that help you plan smarter, retire richer, and live stress-free after work. I'm here to cut through the confusion and give you the straight facts about what's really happening with UK pensions in 2025. So if you want to protect your retirement and make informed decisions about your financial future, you're in exactly the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because pension rules are changing faster than ever, and I'll keep you updated every step of the way. Now, let's dive straight into these shocking new pension rules that everyone's talking about. You've probably heard the headlines screaming about the UK abolishing the retirement age. And I know that sounds absolutely wild, but let me break down what's actually happening here, because the reality is both simpler and more complicated than most news outlets are telling you. First things first, let's clear up a massive misconception that's causing panic across the country. The UK hasn't abolished the state pension age. That's still very much in place, and it's currently sitting at 66 for everyone, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. What has actually changed is something called the default retirement age, and understanding the difference between these two concepts is absolutely crucial for your retirement planning. The default retirement age was a policy that allowed employers to forcibly retire workers when they reached 65, essentially pushing people out of their jobs simply because they hit a certain birthday. That policy was actually abolished back in 2011, but what we're seeing now in 2025 is a reinforcement and clarification of workers' rights that's making headlines because it's giving employees unprecedented control over when they choose to stop working. Here's what this means for you in practical terms. You now have the absolute right to continue working for as long as you want, provided you're physically and mentally capable of doing your job. Your employer cannot force you to retire at 60, 65, 70, or any other age unless they can prove there's a legitimate business reason that's objectively justified. This is a game changer for people who love their work, need the income, or simply aren't ready to slow down. But here's where things get really interesting, and this is the part that most people are missing. Just because you can work longer doesn't mean you should, and just because there's no forced retirement age doesn't mean you need to keep working until you drop. The key is understanding how this flexibility interacts with your pension options and your overall retirement strategy. Let's talk about the state pension for a moment, because this is where people get confused. Your state pension age is the earliest point at which you can start claiming your state pension from the government. Right now, that's 66, and it's scheduled to rise to 67 between 2026 and 2028, and then to 68 somewhere between 2044 and 2046, although those dates keep getting reviewed. The critical thing to understand is that this age hasn't been abolished. It's still the gatekeeper to your state pension income. What the new rules do is separate your working life from your pension claiming decisions. You can now retire from work at 55, 60, or 62 and live off your private pensions or savings until you reach state pension age. Or you can keep working past 66 and delay claiming your state pension to get a higher weekly amount through something called deferred state pension credits. For every 9 weeks you delay claiming your state pension, you get an extra 1% added to your weekly payment for life. That's roughly a 5.8% increase for every full year you defer. Here's another crucial element that's changing the retirement landscape in 2025. The minimum age you can access your private pension is currently 55, but this is rising to 57 in 2028. This means if you were born after April 1971, you'll need to wait until 57 to touch your workplace pension or personal pension savings. This is a significant shift that requires careful planning, especially if you were hoping to retire in your mid-50s. Now let's talk about the opportunities these new rules create. If you're someone who genuinely enjoys your work and you're in good health, working longer can dramatically improve your retirement finances. Every extra year you work is a year you're not drawing down your pension pot, which means more time for your investments to grow. Plus, you're adding more national insurance contributions, which can fill gaps in your state pension record and potentially increase your final state pension amount. On the flip side, and this is really important, just because you can work longer doesn't mean it's always the smart financial move. If you have a serious health condition, if your job is physically demanding and taking a toll on your body, or if you have caring responsibilities, the mental and physical cost of working longer might outweigh the financial benefits. The beauty of these new rules is that the choice is genuinely yours to make based on your circumstances. There's also a significant point about workplace pensions that often gets overlooked. Many company pension schemes have what's called a normal pension age built into them, often set at 65 or linked to your state pension age. Even though your employer can't force you to retire, if you work past this normal pension age, you need to understand how it affects your pension benefits. Some schemes will let your pension continue growing. Others might start paying out automatically, and some might even reduce benefits if you work beyond a certain age. What should you actually do with this information? Start by checking your state pension forecast on the government website to see exactly how much you're entitled to and when. Next, dig out your workplace pension statements and understand what age they're set to pay out and what flexibility you have. If you're thinking about working longer, run the numbers to see how much extra you'd actually gain versus the lifestyle you'd be giving up. And if you're planning to retire early, make absolutely sure you have enough private pension savings to bridge the gap until your state pension kicks in. The bottom line is this: the abolishment of forced retirement ages gives you freedom, but freedom without knowledge is just confusion. These new pension rules for 2025 are creating opportunities for flexible retirement that previous generations never had. But you need to be strategic about how you use them. Don't just follow what everyone else is doing. Create a retirement plan that actually fits your life, your health, and your financial goals. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. It really helps more people discover this crucial information. Subscribe to Pension Secure UK and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on UK pension changes. Because trust me, there's more coming. Drop a comment below telling me your retirement age goal and whether these new rules change your plans. I read every single comment and I love hearing your stories. And if you know someone who's confused about these pension changes, share this video with them. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your retirement. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll be diving into how to maximize your state pension before the age increases hit. Until then, plan smart and retire secure.